Well, hello there. Yes, it is the return of the Independent Comic Book Reviews Coffee Break Review, where we sit down together, we drink some coffee, and we go over some independent comic books. And this is our official relaunch, and that's why it kind of looks like a disaster right now. I did want to get something up and going again and getting you some new content and delivering you some new videos. So while I'm working on the studio behind me and everything that's going to be going on, I figured, let's get the ICBR back and running. It's been a little while. We've been away for a little bit. So, with that, my name is Willis, and this is your coffee break review. So, I had to sit down, long, hard think, how do we relaunch the coffee break review from ICBR? What's the best book? And I sat down. It took me a while. Do I give you something new? Do I give you something old? Do I give you something exclusive, like our exclusive cover back here? And I came across this book, Space Bastards. It's right now. It's only on Kickstarter, or you can find them in conventions. Space Bastards is a great book by Eric Peterson and Joe Aubrey. The book is excellent. I can't highly recommend something more than this book. Kickstarter is the place to find it right now. I think there's still 19 days left on the Kickstarter, and I believe the writers, don't quote me even though it's in writing, the writer's going to be at the San Diego Comic-Con, so you might be able to find them there, and they're at a handful of other conventions as well. So Eric and Joe sent me a copy of Space Bastards to give it a review for their Kickstarter. And I thought this is the most excellent way to restart the ICBR, because that's what we're all about. We're about the indie books. And when a book starts on Kickstarter and can only be found on Kickstarter, or can only be found from the creators at conventions, that's as indie as it gets. So that's why we wanted to. We were really impressed by this book, and that's why we wanted to kick the reviews back off with Space Bastards Volume 1. Now, the first thing that really got our attention when we got this book was just how well it was put together. I mean, you can see the size of the book. You're getting, I believe it's $40 on Kickstarter. So you're going to get your money's worth here. They did not shortchange you. Look at the amount of pages there. Now, the thing that really got me when I first started to sit down and read this, and I killed this book in a little bit in my coffee break, basically. What really got me was I kept thinking that the pages were stuck together. That, sometimes when you're using a new book, the printing, the ink gets stuck together. I kept thinking, oh my God, I've got too many pages, but that's because they printed this on such good quality paper that it's actually thick. It's not the thin stuff that you're getting in the comic book shops right now. This is a very well put together book. It's got a lot of great content, so you're going to get 4 different stories, but they're all related. So with Space Bastards, the main concept here is that there is an intergalactic postal service. Now, they'll explain a lot when you go and you buy this, and I highly recommend that you buy this book through Kickstarter or find our friends over at the San Diego Comic-Con. What you'll find is that the 4 stories are all related to this postal service. Now, in this day and age, there is the postal service. So every time the parcel changes hands between postal service workers, the value of the package goes up. So at this point in our lives, when this book takes place, we're looking at just the criminals or some of the bounty hunter types that are trying to be postal service, because that's where the money is, and they're almost having too much fun with all the damage that they're doing to each other. So it was an excellent read. Now, the artwork, let me tell you about the artwork. For the first two stories, we got Derek Robinson, who has been doing books all over the U.S. He's done Marvel, he's done DC. You probably have heard Derek a few times. You'll find him at conventions all over the place. Excellent work. The fact that an indie comic book like Space Bastards was able to go out and get something like Derek takes that indie book to that next level, because a lot of the time indie books do get judged by their artwork. They always say don't judge a book by its cover. Honestly, if you're gonna drop $40, you want to look for a well put together book, and that sometimes you don't see it originally with the writing, because that's not what you're looking for. You're looking at the artwork. The fact that they went out and got somebody like Derek for those first two stories really helps push that book a little bit more. He starts this story for the first two books called Tooth and Mail, which is not finished yet. When you get this volume 1, Tooth and Mail is not done. But like any good movie, even though it's a comic, like any good movie, they give you a little bit of a tease. So right in the beginning, they're going to give you a scene of action that's not explained until a little bit later, which is fine. But that's why they got you on the hook. This is volume 1 of what I've been told is a 4-volume book. It's going to come out quarterly. So I'm looking forward to reading volumes 2, 3, and 4 when they come out. Now, this third story is done by probably one of the most well-known indie comic book artists in the UK, Simon Bisley. Simon... I think is most well known for his work over at 2000 AD with Judge Dredd and some of the books like that. 13 Coins was one of my favorites from, Lord, I can't remember Titan Comics. Published 13 Coins. His artwork is very stylish. I love it. He did the third story, and the fourth story is fairly short by Gabo, who does the artwork. But overall, Eric and Joe did the writing for all 4 books. They are going to continue all the writing, but continue to bring in some of the most excellent artists that you've seen. If you pick up this book, not only are you getting great content, you're getting a great solid book, but you're also going to get some awesome story work. Eric and Joe did such a great job. This is not for kids. It's not. Don't let your kids read this one. But that's what makes it so great at the same time, is that it's not for kids. This brought out the immature kid in me, and I sat there and I just laughed my butt off when I read it. It was great content. Inappropriate, 100% inappropriate, but that's what made it so great. And I'm going to look forward to reading the rest of them, volumes 2 through 4, as they come out over the next year. But I highly recommend Space Bastards. Go out on Kickstarter today and back it. The book's only $40. It's you can see I've got it right here in my hands. So sometimes when you back a Kickstarter, that's when they start making them, is when it goes through. I've got the book in my hands. You are guaranteed to get the book when this Kickstarter reaches its goal. And it's not too far off. So go out, back a Kickstarter that you know is a guaranteed payout. Because that sometimes I've backed many Kickstarters and some of them never go through. So go out, back a Kickstarter that is going to actually deliver a great book to you. And I know we're going to be seeing this book in previews in the future. It's going to be in comic book shops in the future. I look forward to being part of Space Bastards as it goes forward. You'll love it. If you want some time to just sit down and just laugh and read a good book and see a lot of action and just inappropriate dialogue, Space Bastards is the book for you. So go out right now, back it on Kickstarter, and we'll see how you like it. If you go out and you get it in a couple months from now, when you rewatch this video, because you're going to watch them over and over again, I know it, leave a comment below and tell me how you like Space Bastards. And with that, I will see you next time.